this is just my honest to God feeling. Can we please not have Paul Heyman on my TV anymore? I mean, if Brock Lesnar can, you know, the guy was in the business 8-9 years ago. He's a former UFC World Heavyweight Champion. He is a legit badass. He doesn't even have to talk to make that point. Brock Lesnar is a legitimate badass. Why does he need Paul Heyman out there to cut his promos for him to get that point over to people? I don't even understand the point of Paul Heyman being on my TV. And in my opinion, and again, I'm going to leave myself open to some disagreement from folks, but I don't feel like Paul Heyman's really adding to this feud in a way that it needs to be added to. I think he's helping tell a certain story. That's not the story I want to see between these two guys. I don't want Paul Heyman out there weaseling around and threatening lawsuits and being a smarmy little smart ass. This feud between Brock Lesnar, who is 6'4", 285 pounds, and Triple H, who's about 6'4" and 265 pounds, these two guys are a lot of beef moving at each other at a very high rate of speed right now. All right? This storyline between these two legitimate badasses does not need a smart-ass, lawsuit-threatening, balding little Frodo troll named Paul Heyman involved in it. It just doesn't. Paul Heyman isn't adding to this eventual confrontation. In my mind, he's taking up time that these two could be using fist-fighting each other. He's taking up time that these two could be using talking at each other. This is clearly a personal issue. I didn't need Paul Heyman to tell me that. If you want to use Paul Heyman to help tell the story of this match, then put his ass down there in the commentary booth. I don't want him in the ring involved in this angle. And by the way, love the man. And I will forever worship Shawn Michaels for what he did in this business. I don't want him involved in this story either. That's like the go-to move anymore. They did it at WrestleMania with the Undertaker match. And it's almost all of a sudden now like Triple H, who's a 13-time world champion and has been in this business for damn near 20 years. Now he can't get through a major feud without having Shawn Michaels come along to help tell the story. Can we not just have guys get in a ring and throw down until somebody can't get up anymore? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. I mean, one of the questions I have is, you know, looking at this whole situation with Triple H and Brock Lesnar, I'm wondering what the payoff is for it. Because, I mean, how do you book it? Do you book it for Brock Lesnar to go over and keep him strong so you have something solid since it's almost the end of the year and you need to build for WrestleMania? Or do you have a guy that just lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Do you have him go over?
And you know what, Calvin? That's a great point, because what you have in this match right now is you have the guy that lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania despite getting help from Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels gave The Undertaker sweet chin music in the middle of the ring in that match, and it still didn't put him away. All right? So you've got the guy who lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania versus the guy that lost to John Cena at Extreme Rules. You've got two losers facing each other to determine who the baddest man on the planet is. And not only that, but the guys in the chat room are pointing out that the reason Heyman's out there is because Lesnar has limited contract dates. He can't be there to help tell the story of this feud as much as it requires, so they bring Heyman out to help move the storyline along until Lesnar can be there for a contracted date. All right, well then let me ask you this. What is the value of Brock Lesnar if Vince is paying him an exorbitant sum of money to only work limited dates? What is the value of that at all? Seriously. Is that making Vince money? Because in my mind, one of two things needs to happen. Either we need to pay Brock Lesnar enough to be there every week so that he can tell his own fucking story, or he needs to go away and not be in the business anymore. One or the other.